Hey, what's up guys? It's Kyle Benjamin Turner, and in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you how I started shooting for brands like Prada, L'Oreal, Nespresso, etc. And I'm gonna break it down so that you can understand how you could potentially do this for yourself or how you could start booking your ideal and dream clients as well. So let's get into it. You're probably wondering, how did you start shooting for these brands? So I'll kind of give you a rundown of, what was going through my head along this journey, along with like the specific steps that happened along the way. It all really started out with, building a good portfolio. And I talk about this all the time. Like, you need to have a portfolio that's going to attract your ideal clients. So I was doing a lot of portrait photography at the time. I was doing a lot of like branded portraits with business owners and things like that. And then I was also doing videography. So I was doing a ton of videography, interview style videos where we're basically like interviewing business owners or testimonials from clients, and then doing B-roll on top, and then other B-roll videos in general. And so what I started doing was I started running ads on Facebook and Instagram saying, hey, if you're looking for a video for your business, or if you're looking for photos, then send me a DM or send me an email. So what happened was I got fully booked by doing that. I was running, a whole bunch of ads. And by the way, I have a course on this. If you want to see examples of like the ads I ran and the emails that I sent to clients, like I do have a course on this. It's super cheap. That'll be in the description. But yeah, that's what I was doing. I was running a bunch of ads on Facebook and Instagram. I started getting booked like crazy. Remember, I have another video that talks about, you're supposed to start at a low price point. So I was getting fully booked at a low price point. I started slowly increasing my rates. And then what happened was I actually shot with a client who wanted an event video done in Montreal. And so what happened was I went down to Montreal for the shoot. I did the event video, and it turned out, I didn't know it at the time, but this person that I shot for was actually an ambassador for L'Oreal. So they were like one of the main hairstylists, or like, I guess educators or ambassadors for L'Oreal. And what happened was when I filmed a video for him at his event, the event was amazing, right? Like the event looked super nice. But what happened was somebody from that event who was at that event actually worked for another brand that was closely connected with L'Oreal, called Kerastase. And what happened was they were at that event. They're like, hey, like this video is sick. Like, who made this video? So what happened was my client sent them my contact information, and no joke, I think it was just a few days later, I stayed in Montreal. Like, I extended my trip in Montreal, and I was shooting another video for Kerastase. So that's basically how I got connected with Kerastase. And what happened there was, after I did the shoot with Kerastase, I was obviously, fully booked with all this other stuff that was going on, but I'm trying to give you guys like the big brands, like how I started working with these bigger brands. What happened was somebody at Kerastase knew somebody who was working at Nespresso. So, and I can't remember exactly how that connection came to be, but somebody at Nespresso basically reached out to me, and they're like, hey, I know somebody at Kerastase who basically wanted you to, they recommended you. And so what happened was, I started shooting for Nespresso. We did a couple of videos for them that summer. And then, funny enough, this is like, I'm jumping like from multiple years, right? Because this first shoot that we did for Kerastase was in 2021. And then Nespresso, I think it was 2022. And then this next one that I'm about to mention. So the person working at Nespresso, her sister actually worked at Prada. And the reason I'm even bringing this up is because you guys have to understand a couple different things. One, like the connections you make on your shoots, you never really know where those connections are like linked to, right? But then the other thing is you're gonna wanna have like a really good, personality. You're gonna wanna develop your personality in general, but you're also gonna wanna have good delivery and good customer service. So something I've noticed working with these bigger brands is it's not always about the quality of work. Obviously, your quality of work has to be good enough for you to even get booked with them in the first place, but there's lots of people who have quality of work, right? So what's the differentiating factor? What I've noticed is that the differentiating factor is, who do they want to work with? If they hear good things about you, if they've heard a ton of good things about you, but you also have good delivery and they trust you to deliver on time, to do what you say you're gonna do. Like if you send them an invoice and you're like, I'm gonna get this to you in 5 business days, do you get it to them in 5 business days? So I remember for Nespresso, they told us, they were like, hey, we're gonna need to do a press release on the day of this like shoot. So, can you bring your laptop and like set it up so that we get this like immediately, like an hour after we like do this launch for this specific product that they had. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I'll probably have like a video or some kind of thing, because we filmed a bunch of videos for them. But what happened was we delivered on that, and obviously they're happy. And then there were connections that were established there. Her sister worked at Prada. We ended up working for Prada multiple times this year, and so something I've learned from this process is that, obviously there's going to be connections that are involved, and that's just going to be something that happens over time as you're working. But it all stems from one core aspect, which is I was doing all the things necessary. I have another video on this where I basically talk about how to, do all the right things necessary, like your portfolio, your marketing, and your sales. But I was doing all the right things necessary. So when the clients came along, they were happy to work with me. And when the brands came along and they found out about me, they were happy to work with me. Now, obviously, there's a couple other different factors that go into play here. I did grow my following over this time. I think from like 7,000 followers to like 50,000 followers. I don't think that that's like the main reason that they booked with me, but it's something to consider. Like, I don't want to leave that out because I do think that focusing on growing your following is very important. A lot of you guys are like not posting online that much. You don't care about your online personality. Like, this is something that is beneficial to the brands that are booking you because you have to think about it. You're going to be on the shoot. You're going to be posting, right? So like a lot of these brands, like for example, when we shop for Lancome, they have a ton of influencers that are at this event. And they booked me as a videographer for this one specific event where we were shooting both an event and we were also shooting a commercial, a couple different ads for them. But what happened was the photographer was an influencer and I was also an influencer, or you could say like celebrity photographer, etc. So what they're thinking, and I don't know this for a fact because I've never asked them. I'm going to ask them next time I speak with them, but like they would rather, I'm assuming, have, that celebrity photographer come to shoot for this massive brand than having somebody with like 1,000 followers, right? And I don't want this to discourage you. This should motivate you to want to build your following and build your personal brand, because at some point I literally have, I can still remember, like fresh in my memory, when I had like 500 followers, 700 followers, and the amount I was posting. If you guys look at my Instagram profile, I have over 900 posts, okay? Like I'm almost at 1,000 posts. So if you guys are, you only have 100 posts on your profile, some of you guys don't even have that. Like, why are you thinking, oh, I'm going to grow exponentially, I'm going to have so many followers, oh, I'm going to have brands that want to work with me? You have to understand, and again, I don't think it's just about the followers, right? But having the following helps a lot because people can look at that and then be like, oh, wait, not only is he a good photographer, not only have I heard good things about him, but he also has 50,000 followers on Instagram. So I want you to, take all these things into account when thinking about how you're going to start working with the kind of brands that you want to work with as well. And, I specifically like working with like beauty brands, luxury brands, etc., things like that. But if you're into, let's say, travel brands, if you're into lifestyle brands, if you're into fitness brands, etc., you have to figure out what it is that you like so that you can start developing a portfolio that attracts those kind of people. And you're also going to want to make sure that your delivery time is on point. Like, I can't stress this enough. A lot of you guys, you're going to say, oh, I'm going to get this to you. Or some of you guys don't even discuss this with the client. Like, when are you going to get them the content, right? Don't wait for them to ask you, hey, when are we going to receive this? Make sure that they know when they're going to receive it, and make sure to either deliver it beforehand or on the day that you told them that they're going to receive it. And if you do that enough times, the clients that you get are going to come back. We shot with L'Oreal for the first time in, if I'm not mistaken, well, actually, I didn't mention this in the story because I don't think it's super necessary, but the first time we shot for L'Oreal, I believe was 2019 or 2020. It was a small video, but I didn't have a good delivery and they never came back, right? But then what happened was after we shot for Kerastase and there's that connection with L'Oreal, we started working with them again. And one of the things that I learned is that after I got really good at client delivery, these clients are so happy to work with me. They say so many good things about me. And that's bringing me into my next point, which is affirmations and like self-concept / self-belief. You're going to want to work on affirmations and self-concept when it comes to you and your business. You're going to want to tell yourself every single day, I'm getting my dream clients. I'm working with the kind of brands that I want to work with. I'm so happy that I'm able to do photography and videography for a living. I'm so happy that I'm able to have a business that allows me to live the kind of lifestyle that I want to live. You need to tell yourself these things. And then as you get the proof in your reality, you're going to start like affirming it or confirming it in your reality. So, one of the things I used to tell myself before I started working for big brands is I was like, I'm fully booked. Like, I'm so happy that I'm fully booked. I'm so happy that I have my dream clients coming in. Before I started working with like really big brands, I didn't use the language of like, oh, I'm working with massive brands, but what I tell myself is like, I love working with the clients that I'm working with. I'm always working with amazing clients. Clients love to work with me, et cetera, et cetera. So when I got that big brand client, it was the same affirmation that was there, the same self-belief, self-concept that was there was fulfilled within that client that I was working with. So when that big dream client or big brand client came, I already believed they love working with me. I'm always giving them the deliverables on time. They're so happy with the work that I'm sending them, which they were, right? Because I believe that. And so, I'm actually going to create that in my reality. So that's one of the things that I want to get across as well, is that you're going to want to do affirmation, self-concept, and you're just going to want to, develop a belief about photography, videography, your business, all the creative things that you do, you're gonna want to develop a belief about you doing well. And that comes with, the self-talk that you have in your head. There's a book called The Power of Self-Talk. I'm forgetting the name of the author right off the top of my head. I think it's like Shad, or I can't remember exactly right now, but if you search it up, The Power of Self-Talk, that's a really good book. But develop your own, right? Because that book talks about, how he has like self-talk audios and stuff like that, but he also talks about the self-talk you have in your head. What I did was I started creating self-talk, like I would write them down in notes and I would say them to myself like over the course of the day, or I'd record audios and like listen to them over the course of the day. I wasn't doing this throughout my whole career. However, it's something that I learned later on that really helped me get to the next level and the next level and the next level, which is something, if you want to continue growing, you're going to have to do things that get you to that next level, and those were one of the things that I did. So I just wanted to mention it there as well. So that's pretty much most of what I wanted to get across. I think the only other little thing that I want to say is communication is key. So making sure that you stay professional when you're speaking with these clients, that you answer them on time and quickly. For the most part, when clients email me, like they're getting a response within a couple minutes, a couple hours max. And depending now, I don't really answer stuff on the weekends, but it depends on the client too, right? Like a client recently reached out to us last weekend on a Saturday. They're like, hey, we're gonna need something in a week, and I just answered the call. Boom, cool, we're gonna do that. Reach out to my editor and got all that sorted out. So just wanted to get that across. If you guys are interested in seeing real examples of like clients and what I emailed to book them, if you're interested in seeing like the ads I ran and stuff like that, I'm not gonna be releasing that stuff publicly, because it's like obviously like personal conversations. Plus it's more like specific, right? Like if you really want to invest in yourself, etc., it's something that you could do. But all this information that I'm giving out on my YouTube channel is going to be beneficial enough for you guys to understand what I'm doing. Like I'm giving it all out here. The only thing is that I have a course that has real life examples. So if you want to see this was the real client and what I emailed them, this was the real ad that I ran, and etc., that's something that I'm going to be that I have in that course. So you can just go in the description of this video. Super cheap. We have a good price on it. So yeah, go click that, go get that now, and I'll see you on the next video.